Oh, the cop was a fake too. Okay, we say someone else. Good. I was just sitting there chilling. Yeah. Let's save. Oh, I'm sure. Just to make sure. So I've got to go into hiding now. As if they know I exist. So I can't go to school. Yeah. Whoa. Catchy as Bay. You all have no idea what you're talking about. So the decision was to tell Sai no. Oh, Sai, did you save me? She had to get me out because no one else would be able to. What are we talking about? Just to be on the safe side. Alright. So, yeah, I'm gonna die. He was the true culprit. It was him. I was thinking now. I was trying to look at his weapon and everything. Yeah. So, Mitch, you were correct on that. He somehow brought people into the palace. Now that, I didn't think. And honestly, that was probably because I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. A problem with me is, when is this coming out? No, I can't speak on it yet. I'll mention something later, alright? But I guess what I can mention now is I did want to... There were too many things. Like, from the simple fact, he revealed his true colors when he was talking to Makoto.
Compared to people who manipulate others' hearts as they see fit, I believe I'm on the side of justice.
I mean, I can see your logic in that.
Besides, I'm only using my natural-born talents for the sake of serving the world.
Oh, how generous of you.
Don't you think the same about yourself, too?
Actually, an interesting question. Because, I mean, as far as intelligence goes, I think they're both in the same league.
Oh, that's surprising. So, you're just the good girl type of pushover.
You got some nerve, man! So much time had passed since then, like, literally months, that the impact that it had on me faded. I think that's what made me start to want him to believe he was a good guy. Because then, when I suspected him, I was like, nah. It's Akechi. Goro, who, by the way, traitor! Alright, Goro's a traitor. 100% straight up. I'm not saying I've been spoiled on it. I'm saying after I rewatched that scene and I saw that Morgana, he recognized Morgana, I'm like, oh, it's him. Like, I had confirmed it then. I found the pancake line, and he called Makoto a goody two-shoes pushover. That, to me, was a definite sign. But as time progressed, I wanted to believe him, and then he fed me the sob story. I'm too nice! I got the niceness back in me due to all the happy feelings I was getting from Persona and Fire Emblem. If I had been more cynical, I wouldn't have dropped my guard. Which, I guess I would have died in this place. Well, no. I would have brought up my concerns to Morgana probably, and then we would have went from there. So. And yeah, that's true. Wow. Makoto, that's actually very true. And reminds me of something. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's true. Wow. Yep. Yep. So Akechi's just been a hitman this entire time? True. True. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna come after you all regardless if I'm alive or not. Yep. So we have to make that plan out. You're thinking about the police side of it? Yes. That's what I've been thinking this entire time, Futaba. So what's your plan? Yeah, inside the palace. Sai's cognition of me. Is it Sai's? I'm thinking it. It did seem like Sai's cognition.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell them to come on down.
So Sai's with us and she's
I'm gonna
alive.
fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
No, it's okay.
It's ancient history now.
Yeah.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Is it me? What's up, everybody? What's up, bro?
Hey, you big bastard.
How've you been?
I don't know. I mean, I died.
You must be fine if you're joking around like that.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I'm sorry, Makoto. I owe you an apology too. What lineage?
Your sister is still young, yet she holds an admirable position at the public prosecutor's office, no?
Oh, someone I know goes there as well.
Is it the brown-haired guy?
Can we discuss this over sushi, perhaps? You are making a student work late after all.
Oh, if that guy's part of us, so he's suspect number one now. Oh snap! Are you serious? I thought, okay, take everything else I said back. Suspect A. A big one.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Ideally.
Still, how'd you pull this off? Isn't this guy considered dead?
Yeah.
You weren't told anything? I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe. It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
We should have told him something.
I didn't have time to explain.
Yeah.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
Yes, and me too.
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, I can imagine this is a lot for you.
Enemy? Fake? What are you talking about?
I know you said for me not to get in trouble, but it was out of my hands.
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else?
Yeah.
It was Goro Akechi. You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
He was too suspicious.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back.
That's true.
He made one fatal mistake.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
That wasn't something we could simply bring up.
Yeah, how will we go about doing it?
We couldn't have you suspect Akechi.
And yeah, if you suspected him, then he would have killed you.
Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit.
Makes sense.
In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
The only one, that was the only way forward.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff.
We had to do something drastic.
So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
Yeah.
You mean a cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
I know that's hard to believe, but trust us.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true. You surprised?
Well, Morgana, he can't hear you.
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
Yeah.
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality. It's a change in cognition, most likely.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
Lame acting on, you were in no position. I actually thought he was quite good.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, I know a place. I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here.
I realized that.
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Why didn't I just go with that? I knew that fact, and yet still, I have problems.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake.
I'm that guy who comes up with all the facts, puts something down, and says, but it could be something else. I need to figure out what that is about me. Because otherwise, well, I mean, sometimes I've been on point, but sometimes I doubt myself. And it's like, why?
That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
Makes sense.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all.
Yeah, it was. But when I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. Who said that? Because I knew once Morgana explained how his voice worked, I can't remember which episode that was. If anybody can find that, I'd be grateful because it was before that. It was like early on. When I knew Morgana's voice had a secret to that, I was like, that's going to be the key to finding the traitor before any of this even happened. Maybe I will try to find it because now that we're here, we got lucky. We really did.
That said, we weren't so naive to overlook something like that. That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app.
Futaba, you daggum genius. You daggum genius.
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
I didn't even suspect anything. It was totally in line with what she does.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
Yeah. Dadgummit.
That was just an act.
Yes, we know that now.
After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that.
So they just let Akechi go, even though he knows about this ability.
Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Is this for real?
Yeah? I mean, you're hearing it.
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest.
And that's why Sai was telling the real guard that he should get out of there. Otherwise, they'll try to... We saved him. We saved him.
And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life. When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes. On top of that,
Haru?
there's someone else commanding Akechi.
I'm just not realizing it, Haru. He killed your father.
Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station.
Sojiro, you should know.
That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
Because we didn't take Sai's treasure. I still had it on me. So she should still have his pallet. Or she should still have a palace.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
Yeah.
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
The police
First,
station?
We required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
Yeah.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
And so is that why? So Futaba's app, what she did is once Akechi looked at the phone, she probably used some sort of facial recognition software or something like that. It would activate the metaverse and Akechi wouldn't realize it.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
That brings back memories.
You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
All this time I was thinking though that Sai was the one who brought us there.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion.
Yeah, that's... wow, you all.
To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
It was a great idea.
Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
That is true.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi.
Yeah, you did. And I thought, well, no, to be fair, when he did exchange info with Makoto, he was at the upper hand. Makoto got a bit of information later and then was able to come back.
But I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all. I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
It's okay, Sai. You've more than made up for it.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
Well...
I'm sorry.
Go on.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse.
And what's that?
First, Our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room.
Makes sense.
Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
And that's where Sai came in.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush.
I thought we did expect it.
As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act.
Okay, I was about to say, like, come on now.
We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure.
It was empty?
This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
So what about Sai? Is that you managed to...
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this.
So, okay. So, I feel a little bit better. It was part of the plan for me to get captured. Like I said, I also did not rule that out. So, nothing too surprising, actually. As far as, I think everything that happened was something I had anticipated.
But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
All I needed were the coordinates.
Oh, alright. That makes sense.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room.
Yeah?
Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
What you mean? You scared? Yeah.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. I couldn't see it either.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
Have you?
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
Oh.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
That makes sense.
Huh. Astounding.
So, okay, so they hid Sai in her own palace to prevent... That makes sense. I was kind of wondering about that.
I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation.
That's true. It was all inside Sai.
Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
True.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible.
Very true.
That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
Huh?
Be ridiculous.
What? What do you what I say? What I say? Sai scares me right now. A deal? What? Are you serious? What? Wait a minute. Is this good? Is this? Are we safe? Did I make it? Not at all. Not at all.
Then it truly was a do-or-die situation? That's crazy. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
Sai, what choice did I have?
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Did it matter if I told her? No, I think it did, because if I went with her plan, that's what I was thinking. Going with her plan would prevent the true plan from happening.
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake.
Yes.
But what did you do about the body?
What do you mean? There was no body.
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
Oh!
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
Wow.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Well, yeah, Sojiro, you should know who it is.
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise.
True.
We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Really?
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand.
Your
And
boss?
since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
How did you do that?
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died.
That is true.
I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
Oh, thank you, Makoto. It was a breeze.
How tough are you?
Don't look at me like that.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
I can imagine. Like, did you have a plan? Like, there was really no confirmation that you knew if it went through or not, because that's what they planned to do.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
Yeah, you did. You did. I'll admit that.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Yeah.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Hey, but he was right. He believed in me.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
You know, actually, real talk question. Where was I? Like, why was I out and about before this? Like, why wasn't I hidden in my room?
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander.
Yeah?
What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash. Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you.
Alright, Sai, don't die.
You saved me, after all.
Well, we hope.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know. Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped.
Alright.
Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Why don't we go to the second floor, though?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs.
You're right. I cannot leave.
It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Well, thank you, Sojiro. Couldn't have done this, couldn't have got this far without you.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
Truly. You proud of your father? All right. Oh, I made it. Admittedly, not the most graceful. Oh. What's up?
That sounds familiar.
What? You're remembering me now? Remembering me now.
It's me, Akechi.
Enter.
Can he go to the metaverse too?
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
Uh-oh.
No, nothing in particular.
Okay, good.
More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
Wow.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
I'm sure.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
Yo, Akechi, forget you. Forget you, bro.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
I am, there is so much I'd like to say. Maybe I'll stream and just talk to you guys.
Story. The snap election for the House of Representatives.
Okay.
Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in him yet anyways.
Well, it might. This culprit is involved.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder.
Oh, he called him by name.
He said, Shido-san.
There we go.
Shido? Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
He's the guy who put me in this mess.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Oh, and yeah, he's the new... What was it? He's the new head of a faction that broke off of... I forgot what the different factions of the Diet, but he's important.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Yep.
Who?
We should know politics, guys. Come on now.
I believe he's a politician. Remember, Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
He did.
For real?
One sec. All right, I'm back.
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
He meets all the qualifications, or... yeah.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility.
Yeah.
First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
No!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
Yep.
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
I mean, Akechi has been too.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes. Mom.
Shido, huh?
Yeah, you know him.
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this.
Then why didn't you say?
Just based on the connections I had from my previous job. I I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved.
Well, I guess he didn't have any evidence, so he didn't want to get our hopes up.
But there wasn't anything I could do. So I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had.
Yeah, we probably would have.
He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties.
And you came here.
Boss was one of those parties.
You're calling him that now!
I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that.
What's gonna happen to us?
This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
That too.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Okay.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. Ain't a surprise he has one.
Well, yeah, but...
Where would the location be?
Japan.
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
Maybe even the world.
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
True.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
Where do the politicians normally go for in Japan? The Diet Building? Okay, that was simple.
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
We don't have a choice. We have to.
Hell yeah! Nobody against it?
Of course.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Indeed.
Let's win this together.
Been waiting for him.
Time for revenge.
Then it's unanimous.
All
Makoto?
we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
She didn't say anything, did she?
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
It's okay.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th.
Oh,
That means we need it done by the 17th.
okay.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
That's true.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah?
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
Thank... bless her.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
Yeah?
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
Oh, snap.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna flip.
Yeah?
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
You know, I kind of feel cheated, you know? They have to hide those scenes from me, even though I suspected some stuff.
We're intellectuals, you know.
Okay, Ryuji.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
Yeah?
But the true battle has only just begun.
It's one thing to have power, another to use it properly.
We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, they're gonna still come after you guys.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
So you introduced him to to the power after getting Futaba's mom's research?
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers.
Oh, you had it? All that time?
If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology.
Oh, really?
I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research.
You did?
I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
You don't know?
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
You killed Futaba's mom? Akechi?
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests. The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
Well, I'd comment on that, but something tells me I shouldn't.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival.
But I don't think you're the guy to do it.
Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals.
It would.
Which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turned psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Wow.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own.
Like I thought, you did have a plan.
The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
So is Akechi?
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister.
So you think?
However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
Yeah.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me.
With that power, you can rise up to take over everything.
And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the Chosen One.
Oh, you are not gonna call yourself the Chosen One.
Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world.
You want nothing else.
Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Well, alright, Akechi. Alright.
Guess you won't be going to school for a while.
Yeah?
Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together.
Please, don't leave me out,
To be
Morgana.
perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
Oh, is this your rank 10?
Well, how do I put this?
Alright.
Well then.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
It's not? Okay. I guess that's true.
Well,
Yeah, that was interesting. Huh. Yeah, I thought so. GPS info for 2 phones. Oh. That's what you did.
oh, but
So what happened? A bookmark function. Huh. Futaba? Dadgummit all, you're my favorite.
nice.
Alright, well with that everyone,
Let's do it.
I'm gonna save on a job well done. Sly's Palace is over. And I'm gonna call it for now because even though I feel better, I could tell I wasn't 100% while recording that. Still, that's it. If I'm being quite honest, okay, there is something I do want to say to you all about that, but I will just end off with saying I wonder how that would have gone if I truly did not know there was a traitor. I think that's really my only thing. Yeah, I'll end it off with that. And I really want to just talk to you all now. I want to like stream and discuss some things with you all because there's some things that I can't talk about in one specific playthrough. Maybe I'll make a video on it. yeah, I'll probably do that. A video. So until then, this has been Blade. We finally passed it, and to those of you who said I needed help passing that moment, maybe, I don't know, maybe I could have messed it up at that moment. Size at max. True justice. Wow. All three of the last ones are at max. But yeah, this has been Blade. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. And now it's time for the question of the day, and we finally get the explanation of what happened that day. And I'm realizing that there was one very key component that I missed out on that probably made the difference. I was convinced this wasn't a part of the plan simply because everybody was panicking on the comms. I was thinking there was no reason for them to do that if it was part of the plan for me to get captured. However, what I did not know is that everyone was already under the impression that Akechi was the traitor. And that was the very key component. And honestly, I think the game kind of cheated on that because for An in particular, An has been the one who, whenever acting is required, she fails, and it's incredibly obvious to see. But when Futaba took Akechi's phone, An was the one who said something, and she gave the most reasonable explanation for why Futaba had did it. Completely in character, I suspected nothing. So, and you know it's not just for laughs because An has kept that up, you know, whenever An's needed to act, it was a very intense situation. So I think for that fact, you know, I was more or less trusting An's reactions as this is legit happening. If they had hid it from her, that would be one thing, but An was in on it as well, so. And Ryuji didn't let anything slip, you know, it's like everyone was on their A game today. Am I a little salty? A tad bit. I think the main issue with it for me is that if I were to compare it to Fire Emblem, which now I know I've posted certain episodes, for Fire Emblem, it makes it really seem like your decisions matter. You can change the flow of the game based on your decisions, and I rarely feel like events are out of my control. Especially since Fire Emblem has an aspect of where literally in every map you could lose a teammate permanently. They disappear from the story. So comparing that with Persona 5, where you could have identified who the traitor was, but yet your team will act on it without your knowledge, and then you're having to remember a plan that you all came up with, that you supposedly initiated, but you feel out of the loop. And I know they use the memory, you know, you lost your memory, so that's the explanation. But I just felt like it was just more like I feel like I wouldn't have been as conflicted if we weren't supposed to be our avatar, you know, supposed to be the central figure in this plan, and we completely didn't know what was happening. So I don't know if that's just my thoughts, so that's why I'm gonna ask you all, what were your thoughts on the plan of the Phantom Thieves? You know, did it bother you that we were missing info? Did you like how they did it? Did you hate it? Because I could see this going both ways. Like, I do think what they did, like, it was enjoyable to watch, and I thought there were some very smart plans, you know, that were going on. It's just that in order to hide who the traitor was, like, I don't know, maybe if I didn't know the pancake line, which in this case, everybody who was watching blind like me, you knew because I figured it out. So I'm wondering maybe if people didn't figure out the pancake line, if this was, you know, a brilliant twist. I don't know. But that's why I think I'm going to ask the feel of the room. Without a doubt, though, unlike other, like there are some instances where I would say, you know, I think this shouldn't have been written this way, or this shouldn't have been written that way. I can't say that for this. It's just, I think, personal taste. And for me, main two things, once again, are the fact that we were the avatar, the main source of this plan, and yet we didn't see it until after events happened. And An's acting was so on point. much better than, like, I didn't suspect anything, and it's been a thing for her that she is normally the weak link when it comes to a plan. She and Ryuji, and neither one of them gave any indication that things were different, which is good, you know, but it's also in the case of it's hard, but overall, I am more borderline. If I had to choose, I am liking what happened, and the plan is well thought out. I just wish some things had been done differently, but that's just personal taste. I didn't think anything as far as, you know, I didn't think anything was bogus that happened. The plan was nice, well thought out. I guess it's just that it's hard, but that's why we have a question of the day. So please post your thoughts on what happened down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.